Our story begins with a perfect creation. Imagine a paradise called the Garden of Eden, teeming with life and beauty. God, the ultimate source of goodness, established this haven for humanity. It was a place of peace and harmony, where God desired a loving connection with His creation. See Adam and Eve. When God created the earth, He created it perfect. Genesis 1:31 reads, "Then God saw everything that He had made, and indeed it was very good." So the evening and the morning were the sixth day. There was no stain of sin or evil anywhere. God gave Adam and Eve the freedom of choice, the same He had given to Lucifer. He went out of His way to make this freedom clear. He planted a tree in the garden and called the tree of knowledge of good and evil. God told Adam and Eve about it because He wanted to make sure they knew they had a choice. When Eve lingered around, Satan came to the tree and told her, "You will not surely die, for God knows that in the day you eat of it your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." This can be found in Genesis 3:4 and 5. When Eve and later Adam made that choice, they opened a door that God wanted to keep forever closed. It was the doorway to sin, the doorway to suffering, heartache, sickness, and death. The course of humanity was forever altered. Romans 5:12 Therefore, just as through one man sin entered the world, and death through sin, and thus death spread to all men, because all sinned. This is where the concept of planet Earth becomes involved, takes center stage. The earth itself transformed into a battleground, a stage for the ongoing conflict between good and evil. Humanity has choices. Their capacity for both good and evil would determine the ultimate outcome. The once perfect world became a place of testing, a crucible where the fate of humanity, and perhaps existence itself, would be decided. Sin separates us from God. Since God is the source of life, separation from God leads to death. It also leads to worry, anxiety, sickness, and disease. The suffering in our world is ultimately the result of living on a sin-ravaged planet. This certainly does not mean that every time we suffer, we have sinned. It does mean that every one of us is affected by living on this planet. The story does not end in despair. Even amidst the darkness of sin, God's love for humanity remained unwavering. He offered a plan for redemption through Jesus Christ, His Son, sacrificing Himself to bridge the gap created by sin. The hope of restoration and reconciliation, of a renewed connection with God, became a beacon in the darkness.